Welcome to Satisfactory, a game of production and consumption, and trying to do it in a very organized, streamlined, efficient way. So we're going to be starting off in the grass fields, just keeping it basic. The map is not procedurally generated, and all these starter biomes, just choose where on the map you want to start. However, you can have access to them as long as you just move around the map in the game. We're going to call this Update 6. And we're going to call it Pollution. I think that's kind of accurate. Oh, it's already in use. Guess I'm not very creative. Let's just do Update 6. So I'm going to skip the intro. The intro just kind of teaches you the basics of the game, your controls and such, and then you progress in upgrading your hub. However, it's not that complicated, and I think I know at least enough to be able to skip that part. Alrighty, and welcome to the world. That is a very nice view to start off with. So it seems to have thrown us into the grasslands area. Right next to some berries. And we are now tasked with getting started. So right off the bat, as I said, this is not a procedurally generated world, so I kind of have an idea of where we are. And we can see way down there is a bit of iron ore, which is going to really help us in the beginning. I also believe there's a bit of iron over there. So I'll just have to kind of get over there. That seemed to be pretty successful. So we're going to make our way over there, and when you're traveling from one place to another in this game, try to grab as many branches, leaves, anything you can. Just smash that keyboard button. So we're going to be looking for some iron ore, and I'm lost. I thought I knew where I was going. I do not. So we're gonna scan for iron ore. If you hold down V, you can go and select an ore to look for. You can scan. All right. Looks like there's some iron ore over here. Ah, this is the place I was looking for. Here we go. So, that's our first encounter of local wildlife. You don't want to throw on your handy-dandy zapper. You can use them to gently coerce the local fauna into leaving this area. As you can see, he has left the area to another plane of existence. And we can check out what we have. So we have one impure, another impure ore node. That's not the best sign. Let's look for some normal ones over here. That's impure again. Impure again. We have another friend who needs to leave this area. Oh, there he is. I'm gonna state this again. This is the experimental branch for Update 6. So, there may be some issues. So, impure. Alright, so we got a bunch of impure nodes. It's not the best, but with some basic upgrades, it's not a terrible place to start. Let's see how close we are to limestone, however. Alright, so we got a bit of limestone just over there. And let's see where some copper is. Oh, okay, so it looks like copper's just up that hill. So, now that we know that we're pretty close to our basic resources, we can get started. So you should start off with hub parts, or if you're doing the tutorial, you'll deconstruct your kind of entry drop pod for hub parts. So we're gonna go over here, click hub, and we're gonna just throw this kind of right here in the middle. Just like that. On the back of your hub, you're going to have two biomass burners for power. You're going to have a little bit of storage here. We'll throw some basic stuff into. Oh, and there is, where is it? Ah, here it is. Our little ship that's going to be sending the quest materials up into space so we can progress. Here's a craft bench so you can start creating things by hand. Eventually, hopefully, everything you have will be created automatically through, you know, production lines, such like that. And over here is where you do all your quests. So we're currently in Tier 1, and we, I think, are going to look at milestones. But in Tier 1 you got basic building, logistics, field research, and then in Tier 2 things start getting a little bit more complicated. Field research is really nice, you get some more inventory slots, and you get a map. But base building's my suggestion to start off with, because you get access to foundations and the lookout tower. And foundations are a really, really good way to start organizing all your machines. So, first we're gonna take out this big rock out of the way, and we're gonna slap down a big old mine. Oh, okay, hello. Oh, please get out of here. Alright, back to as I was saying. We are going to be building a miner MK1 on here. To start automatically mining and pulling out some ore out of the ground. So, this is going to be coming out as raw ore, so of course we're going to need to smelt it into some bars. And then from there, we're going to use a constructor to start constructing things with those bars. And in between, you're going to have to put conveyor belts to attach the machines together to allow the materials to go from point A to point B. So we're going to have 30 ore come out here per minute. That 30 ore is going to come into here and make iron ingots, right? So 30 ore per minute makes 30 ingots per minute. And then over here, we're going to turn those ingots into rods, which is going to take 15 of those ingots and turn them into 15 rods. Of course, we want this to be 100% efficient. We'd have to have 2 constructors and split the line, but we can't quite do that just yet. So now that we have our assembly lines set up, all we gotta do is power it. We're gonna throw down a pole here and hook up our 2 biomass burners. And we're gonna extend our pole all the way down here. Plug our buildings in. We're gonna come to our biomass. Actually, I should split that. So you can just right click on a stack and then it'll split it. And we'll throw you in there too. Alright, so we should now have 40 megawatts of power being produced, and we're only consuming up to 13 megawatts. So as long as your max consumption is below your capacity, you're good to go. Alright, so we got some ore coming out, got some bars going in, and we have rods being produced. Nice. So we're just going to repeat the process over here for iron plates. So if you hold control while building, you'll be able to actually snap buildings together on the same kind of grid line, or at least match up their exit to entry points. And it really helps with keeping things kind of organized and symmetrical and such. Alright, so we're going to set this bad boy to plates, and we're going to bring in some power. And plug everything in. Alright, so now we have iron plates and we got iron rods being produced. We should have about 15 rods per minute over here, and I believe we have 20 rods per minute. There is a bush in the middle that is going to bother me. Oh, hold on. There it goes. And 20 plates per minute over here. Nice. Alright, so while those two are going ahead, we're going to work on our final material. Because if you look up in the top right, we need plates, rods, and concrete. Just clear this area real quick of some of the underlining bush. Brush. So we got a limestone node that's at normal. So we're going to come in here, place down our miner, and we're going to place down our constructor. I'm going to put it a bit closer to the base, just so we can have ease of access to it. Alrighty. So this is going to be outputting 60 limestone per minute. And we don't need a smelter for this one, it can just go straight in the constructor. And it's going to eat up 45 per minute to make 15 concrete per minute. So we're going to put ourselves a electrical pole. And we're going to run this all the way back over here. Alright, so that should get going. And let's check our power. So we're only consuming 35, capacity is 40. So we're doing pretty good right now, but if we want to expand, we're going to have to build more biomass burners eventually. Alrighty, well I'm going to let these build up and get enough for our milestone, and I'm going to go get some biomass to refill our biomass burners. Alrighty, so we're going to go in here and top off our biomass burners. And we're going to take a look at what we've produced so far. So we got 83 rods. Over here we should have, 72 plates. And if you're wondering why I'm sliding and jumping, it's actually, I don't know if it's a bug in the game or if it was intended, but when you slide and jump immediately, you actually travel forward faster than you would just running around. So it's a pretty good way to just kind of get around. So we can go in here and put in our plates, put in our rods, and we're still a little behind on the concrete. So I'm thinking what we're going to do is we're going to take this little portable miner and we are going to throw it down on the ore deposit and start handcrafting some concrete as well. So you just take your little portable miner, and whenever you see the press C and hold, just left click and you'll drop it right on there. And it does, in my opinion, the best animation in this game, as he kind of sets himself up and he gets to it. And he'll start collecting some. So I'll be back once we have 200 concrete. Alrighty, so we got our 200 concrete. We're gonna make our way back over here, and oh my god, there's a slug. It's just a power slug, just sitting right there. I didn't even notice it. These things hide. These things are actually really useful later on in the game. They're used to overclock machines to make them run faster. Right, so we could have our miners running at 200% speed, so instead of pulling 30 ore per minute, or per second, no, it is per minute, it'll be pulling 60 ore per minute. We can come up here, and we can put in our last bit of concrete, and we can smack this big red button. And if we look, our ship should be taken off.
You have unlocked
and making its way to space with all the new stuff we just gave it.
Build basic factory infrastructure and improved overview. Building these will provide a grid for more advanced organizing and sectioning of your factory.
And there it goes. Adios. Alrighty. So, in the meantime, we can go back to select milestones, and we can go on and select logistics next. And as you can see, we can't put any of our stuff in until the pod returns, which will be in about a minute and a half. But in the meantime, if we go into building menu, we have access to foundations now. And a lookout tower. I think we're going to build a lookout tower right now, actually. Just kind of slap this down right here in the middle. So the lookout tower is really nice because you can kind of look down on everything you've built so far, and when you're doing stuff like foundations and stuff, it's helpful in kind of setting everything up and getting built. So as I said before, you can hold down control to kind of set things up in a straight line with each other, but if you hold control while building foundations, it'll lock onto the global grid. Just something I usually suggest to do, only because if you build a bunch of separate buildings all throughout this big map, and you want to have like roads and stuff connecting them, it's a lot easier to connect them up that way. So when building foundations, not only should you do that, but you can also press R and you can set it to zoop or vertical mode. Zoop mode allows you to click once and just kind of go as far out to ×10 as you want. We don't need that much. I think we really only need like 5x5.
Milestone exchange concluded. Fix-it freighter re-entry complete.
And we're out of resources. They tend to go to run out quite quickly, especially early on when you don't have a lot of it being produced at once. But that is kind of the beginning setup here. With this little area, what we can do is start building like a platform right around here and putting in our proper kind of production lines and assembly lines, having them all match up, 90-degree angles for the conveyor belts and such. And I think before then, what we're gonna do is actually throw down just a couple of foundations here. We'll do 2 meter. And we're gonna work on getting some more power in, which we cannot do until we go get some more copper. So I think first things first, as the night continues, we're gonna go check out those copper resource nodes we saw way over east. So to do that, we're gonna need our portable miner back. We'll grab our concrete, and we can go make our way over to where the copper ore was located. Said, yep, right over there. I'm gonna have to make my way up the hill. Alright, so just down here, and if you actually press B, you can turn on your flashlight. Just down here are going to be our copper resource nodes, and there's another slug right over there, and another one right over there. If we hop down here, we have an impure and an impure, and apparently an angry boar somewhere. I have no idea where. Okay, I think he may be down there, so I think we're alright. Alright, so we're going to take out just these 2 little top parts of the ore deposits, so we can select down an MK1. I hear this boar. I don't know where he is, but I hear him. Okay, well, we're just going to build our miner. And we're going to need a smelter, just like before. Oh, hello. It usually takes about 4 hits to take these guys out. Just like that. And then you can come in here and do a constructor. And connect all these up. Oh, they changed the nighttime skybox. And the stars don't actually cover up the planet anymore. That's nice. It used to be just a big repeating pattern of stars. It's really nice to see them actually improve that. Alright, so we're going to be pulling up 30 copper ore per minute. And that's going to be coming into here, making 30 ingots per minute. And we're going to turn those ingots into 30 wire per minute. Alright, so now we're going to have to throw down a power pole. Just kind of plug everything in. And I'm out of cables. Do I have any wire left? I got a bit. So you can come over here and you can build yourself a craft bench whenever you need We can make a total of 3 wires. That is not going to be enough. So what we're going to need to do is actually I need that crafting bench back. I'm going to come over here and steal these this ore. And we're just going to have to by hand make some wires and cable. So when you're crafting in the crafting bench, you can actually just press spacebar once, and it'll go ahead and just keep crafting until you get to 0. So I'm going to craft up these wire and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so we've gone ahead and made some wires and some cables. We can actually go over here and extend out our power. Now these power poles can actually go quite far. Hopefully, oh, can't connect it to there. What we can do is put a pole, I'm thinking, here, and then connect that to there, and that one's over there, and that'll be connected to that. So our power grid just shut itself off because what happened is we have a max consumption of 48 and a production of only 40. So what we're going to have to do now is actually make some more biomass burners to kind of make up for it. We really only need 1, but we'll build 2 for now. And each of these take in some biomass of their own. And I think if we set this back on, yep, now we're producing 100. Consumption's 48. And that means we should have our copper production over there getting to work. Concrete's over there. And our 2 main iron sources are over here getting to work also. So all in all, we're doing pretty darn good for ourselves. At this point, you're pretty much just going to want to run around and collect some more biomass, leaves and wood, while you wait for everything to kind of build up and you're able to unlock logistics. Once you get logistics, then you can start working on, you know, actually setting up big foundations and organizing all your machinery out. Alrighty, so we can come over here and plug in our last little bit for logistics. 150 plates, 150 rods, and 300 wire. Just gonna send that up. And now we have access to the logistics tab to things like the lift, which allows you to have your conveyor belts to go vertical. And we also have access to a merger and a splitter, which mergers and splitters are pretty self-explanatory. You can merge conveyor belts together into one output, and splitter, you can turn one conveyor belt into multiple outputs, right? So let's say you have 30 iron ore going in, and you can split it into 15-15. Alrighty, so I think that's all we're going to do today for this episode. We had a pretty good start going, and we are almost done with the Tier 1 milestones. We can go ahead and start up that 3rd one. Next episode, I plan on hopefully getting a good foundation and start tearing up all these old kind of assembly lines we have and trying to make them more efficient and more organized looking. Alright, so with that, I hope you all have a nice day, and I hope to see y'all in another video. Bye-bye.